You know, if you're an old man like me and can remember the toy aisles of Target in 2013, 2012, you may remember something a little special if you were into Trackmaster like I was. You see, at a time, it wasn't uncommon for Target to have these really exclusive Trackmaster items that were really cool, really entire sub-ranges you could only find at Target, and one of the most substantial I can remember is one called Sodor Blackout. Now, the idea behind Sodor Blackout isn't very hard to pick up on. Basically, the entire island is in a blackout, and the engines need to light stuff up, and so they have lights, and so do the sets, and often things made around this range. And you might be thinking, well, what's so special about that? Well, at this time, Trackmaster and basically Tomy had really not made any engines that had lights or anything like that. I think the only thing that was close was the Steam Along Thomas that had a very dim LED in the funnel, and that was the closest you got if you weren't watching UC Weapon or on Blue Plastic Tracks and saw a custom from Super, like somebody adding it themselves. And I'm pretty sure the range itself was pretty expansive too, especially for being Target exclusives. There were like 2 sets, 2 engine packs, and 2 engines made specifically for it. When it came to sets, you had the Powerline Collapse set, and I think the Emergency Searchlight set. You had 2 engine packs, which were Duck and the Powerline Repair, and the Toby's Electrical Company Delivery or something like that, and again, 2 engines, those being Thomas, and they also made a Percy that has a light-up lamp and light-up cab, which, yeah, that's pretty unique to these things alone. So not only was it crazy to see something like this in the stores, a Trackmaster train that had a light and could, you know, go under the bed or the couch and that you could actually see, but in my naive child mind, I thought this meant there would be a James, and an Edward, and a Gordon, and a Henry, and many other engines made in this range, and sadly there just never were. We only got Thomas and Percy. Beggars can't be choosers though, at least we got Thomas and Percy, and guess what we're talking about today? We're talking about numero uno himself. Look at that cab, that is just so... you probably can't see very much from this camera angle, so we'll switch it up here in a second to get a closer look and actually unbox this thing. Yeah, I might have recorded that before I did this. But really quick, I figured I'd give some quick context and a little bit of background on this thing. This thing came out in 2013 right beside Percy and the big hitters of the Sodor Blackout range itself, I guess. And yeah, there's really not a lot to say about the range itself, besides I think there should have been way more. They could have made more sets that had more to them, more characters. It just would have been cool. It just would have been cool. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm throwing out there. At least we have a Thomas that looks cool when going around the layout at night, though. That's what makes it worth it. All right, let's go. Let's get a closer look at this thing. Return of the Mac. Come on. Shut up. We have a box to open. All right, let's just jump into this beauty. No need for a super long or drawn-out intro. Let's just see what treasures await us today. Where is he at? He's got to be this. It's got to be this lap. Yeah, that feels like a something. That's got to be a something. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there should be some treasure inside this paper wrapping. Let's see what it is. Alrighty, let's get... You know, I can't lie. I'm super excited for this. It's been years since I've seen some... Oh my god, look at this fat boy right here. Ladies and gentlemen, like the only light-up Trackmaster Thomas that was ever good, really, at least in my opinion. I know Trackmaster 2 did some things that lit up, but they were never this cool. Okay, maybe it's just that they were Trackmaster 2, but I'm biased, and I admit that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so this fat Thomas you see here is the, light-up variant that I believe was exclusive to, maybe it was Target, I don't think it was Toys R Us, and there were two made. There were a Thomas and a Percy. I currently only have the Thomas, as you can see. I did have the Percy when I was a kid, so I am gonna have to get another one of those to complete this collection. But as you can see there, we got a bit of detail in the cab, which is new to this model. The tank itself is much larger, as well as the boiler, and that is to accommodate a new battery setup. This thing takes 2 AAAs, I believe, instead of a single AA. And because of that, the boiler is a lot fatter, he's a bit taller. And I'm sure you noticed the front lamp there. That has a hole in a little... Well, you can tell it's lighted, can't you? And if you press the coal bunker, it's supposed to not only light up this, but the light at the front as well. But it doesn't look like he has batteries in there, so that function isn't going to work until we fix that. That aside, though, it's a pretty basic Trackmaster Thomas. There's really nothing special about him, save for the lamp and the bit of detail inside the cab. And you know what? Cool. I really do like the glow-in-the-dark Edward that Trackmaster 2 did, and that one didn't even have any lights. But, you know, I've always wanted, and when I was a kid, I always wanted just simpler engines that lit up. If you've seen UC Weapon or Super on Blue Plastic Tracks, they do plenty of light-up modifications, but Trackmaster themselves never really did. You had to go to, you know, custom makers to ever see something like that. This was really the only example, that and the Percy they made. You know, kind of interestingly, it doesn't seem like mine likes to roll even in the off position, and I believe it was supposed to do that like a normal engine. I could be wrong there, but you know, the only thing left to do at this point is pop some batteries in there and see if the dude works. Again, he's pretty normal. There's really nothing special about this Thomas, save for the lamp and that detail and how fat he is. Can't complain at that. He's just kind of cute. Whatever. Let's get some batteries in this thing. All right, there we go. And here's a look at the inner chassis. Here's the piece that shows the detail here on the cab. It kind of just wraps around to the back and such. There's really nothing here at the front that shows you that this front lamp here is lit. There's no wires or anything like that that lead to it. They did a pretty good job at hiding all the mechanics that make this thing work. This is just pretty visible because, I mean, why wouldn't it be? It's the cab detail. Ladies and gentlemen, 2 AAAs. Let's see if this thing works. It doesn't look like there's any corrosion here to this battery terminal, or really, that one's pretty freaking filthy. Hold on, let's clean that out. Jesus. Okay, save for random dirt and filth, they don't look very corroded or anything like that. It should work fine. So let's go ahead and put these batteries in here. All right, there's that. We've got light function. Let's go ahead and get them put back together so we can see it proper. And look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. That's just cool. I mean, it doesn't glow up very much. This isn't gonna light up a layout or a whole tunnel or anything like that. At least probably not. But that's just so cool. I cannot wait to finally have an engine that you can see when you run it in the dark. That's pretty unique to this thing and the Percy again. So that's just... It was infinite fun as a kid. It's going to be infinite fun again as an adult. What more can I say? Here's a better look at that cab detail. As you can see there, it looks like there's a little shovel in the coal area. We've got him... I'm pretty sure that's the conductor pulling the whistle. And there's the little controls there. And there's the front lamp glowing up again. This is pretty cool. And truth be told, my only real gripe, and this is the same thing from when I was a kid, why didn't they make more of these things? Like, you might not like how large he is. He is fat. Again, I think for the 5th time. But who cares? It's worth it to get this. This is pretty cool. And I remember wanting so bad a James that had a lamp and, you know, maybe some basic, just a normal looking James that lit up. And Trackmaster never made it. We only ever got Thomas and Percy. But you know what? At least we got Thomas and Percy, because this is kind of cool, I'm not gonna lie. So with all of that being said, what is the general rating or consensus on the Sodor Blackout Thomas? Well, he is kind of fat. I think I said that like 5 or 10, 48 times, but I guess you have to weigh, is it worth it to have a Thomas with these weird proportions for that? And, you know, a little bit of detail in the cab. I mean, it was for me. As a kid, it was definitely noticeable and kind of weird to... If this Thomas was in play He kind of just towered over everybody else and looked like he had the chance to eat the consist he was pulling. But at least he had a light. Again, if he went under the couch or under the bed or through a tunnel or something like that, you knew where he was, and that's pretty cool. You know, we don't really have the Percy, so I can't say with certainty, but I'm pretty sure the proportions on that one were way better than this Thomas. He was still pretty large, but I could be wrong there. But I don't have Percy, so I can't really put him up against that accurately. 8 out of 10. I'd say 10 out of 10, but I gotta be objective for the comments, so 8 out of 10. I think that's fair.
Either subscribe, donate, or get the fuck out.
Bada boom, Mr. Worldwide. When I step up in the room, Dale, and today I want to ask you, damn girl, is you from the ghetto? Cause I'm trying to get a piece of that culo. Ha, dale, esa jevita tiene tremendo culo.